coming to you from International Headquarters, ScottieDTV, but I was at the National Corvette Museum, and as many of you may know, they had a little sinkhole issue over there a few years back. And I remember where I was. It's kind of like 9/11 in Princess Diana. I remember where I was. I happened to be at ET MotorGear that morning, and Steve Jenks came back with his phone and said, "Hey guys, check out what's happening at the Corvette Museum." And I called BS on it. I was like, "Oh, no way, that'd be all over the news." And he said, "No, this has just happened." And it wasn't 20 minutes later, and it was all over the news. And it just made you sick to your stomach to think that they had lost all those, historical cars, and what would be the chance that they would get them back. But in typical American fashion, the Corvette Museum has turned it into a display, and a very cool display at that. One thing is they have tape on the floor marking where there's a cave, where the cave is at, because there's still a cave up underneath the museum, and then they have tape marking where the sinkhole was actually at. And what most people don't know is that, well, you know what, let me just get the camera turned around and we'll take a look at this thing. I'll explain to you as we go. So yeah, right, there you go. So you can actually see where there's still a cave, because there's still a cave up underneath the floor. And you can see where the sinkhole is, because they didn't fill the sinkhole. They made a platform with pillars that the sinkhole is now even with the floor of the museum, but the sinkhole is still there. Stick around to the end of the video and you will be able to look down in the sinkhole, because they have a place you can go and look down into the actual sinkhole that's into the floor of the National Corvette Museum. And that's what I'm saying. They do such a good job of not only having really cool stuff there, but displaying it in an interactive, cool, informative way. And man, I just enjoyed my time there. And these cars are actually in the position that they were in the morning that the sinkhole happened, except for these two cars. These two cars are switched. The 62 was on top, the 93 was on the bottom. The reason I display them this way now is so you can see the 62 better, and the 93, the repairs exceeded the value of the car, so they didn't do that. It was a 40th anniversary car. But somebody has now donated another 40th anniversary car, so they have a good one, and there's the one that went down in the sinkhole. And this is a 2001, a Mallet Corvette, 700 horsepower. And it was at the bottom. It was one of two that they weren't sure what happened to it and where they went, until they were able to probe and get down near the bottom of the sinkhole, and that's where they found what they found. And that car's just smashed like an accordion. Absolutely amazing. And I hate that it happened, but it's so much cooler that you can go and see the debris than they just scrapped it all. And this is ZR1 Spider. Car had an actual color change. So it used to be silver and yellow, and now it was black and red before it went down into the sinkhole. It was the first concept Corvette, first concept car period, I think, built on an assembly line. They did that here in Bowling Green, but it was the first concept car that they actually ran down the assembly line to put it together. Again, all these cars have a reason that they were there. And there's the one and only 1983 car, Corvette, was like within a few feet of going down in the hole. I have a video on that car separately. Check that out if you've not seen it. The 1.5 million car. This one was bad, damaged so bad. This was the second one that they didn't know where it was at. This one was damaged so bad that the repairs would have exceeded the real parts. It just would have been a different car. So they didn't. Pulled it out of the hole, and there you go. '84 concept car. It was a car that PPG and General Motors worked on together. One-off. It actually paced the IndyCar race, but it was a one-off body, performance, motor, engine, all that stuff. And yeah, it didn't make it. It was all different. I mean, like I said, it was a one-off custom car. It didn't survive. It was actually at the museum the day the museum opened, so it'd been there since day one. And probably my favorite car. I love the ZR1. And they were able to pull this car out of the hole and set it down, start it, and drive it. Minor damage. And it's the actual Blue Devil, the original ZR1 that was in all the press pictures. It's got an experimental VIN number on it, so it was never even a production car. But it's cool that it was saved. And that is my favorite Corvette. And the 1,000,000th Corvette. It had light damage, but it was within inches. It was hanging on by a rock of falling to the bottom of the sinkhole. And they were able to go in and save it. They actually had to move it and set it down at the bottom of the sinkhole and then reattach it and bring it back up. But very cool. You need to go see it if you have not seen it. And again, as promised, 30 feet down, there it is. From the National Corvette Museum, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Sinkhole display. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See ya! Hey y'all, make sure you subscribe to this channel and visit ScottieDTV.com for an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the one at the end of this video.